In the history of Africa, there are leaders who ruled, and then there are leaders who shook the ground they walked on, leaders who challenged corruption, confronted injustice, and sparked a flame so powerful that their names became legend. One of those names is John Rawlings, a man born not into privilege or political power, but into a world of discipline, courage, and fiery purpose. This is the story of the fire that transformed a nation. The birth of a fire. John Rawlings was born on June 22, 1947, in Accra, Ghana. His mother was Ghanaian, his father Scottish. But Rawlings grew up like any ordinary Ghanaian boy. No luxury, no comfort, no special treatment. He worked hard. He studied hard. And from a young age, he learned that life rewards effort, not excuses. Rawlings grew up observing something that bothered him deeply: injustice, corruption, inequality. Even as a boy, he believed a nation should be built on fairness and that every leader should be accountable to the people. The making of a soldier. Rawlings joined the Ghana Air Force as a young man, not for status, but because the military demanded discipline, precision, and courage. And Rawlings excelled. He trained harder than others. He pushed himself beyond limits. He became one of the best pilots in the force. But he wasn't just good at flying. He was good at thinking. He questioned the things others were afraid to question. He refused to accept injustice as normal. He refused to be silent when the poor suffered. Rawlings believed something very simple. If the system is broken, fix it. Don't complain about it. This belief would shape the rest of his life. The first uprising, a man against the system. By the late 1970s, Ghana was collapsing economically. Corruption was everywhere. Citizens were suffering. Rawlings could not ignore the pain of his people. In May 1979, he made a bold move, a move that shocked the world. Rawlings attempted to lead a military uprising against corruption. He was arrested, beaten, and sentenced to death. But something extraordinary happened. The ordinary people, the soldiers, civilians, market women, they saw hope in Rawlings. They saw someone who was willing to die for justice. And right before he was to be executed, young soldiers broke into prison and freed him. It was one of the most dramatic moments in Ghana's history. The message was clear. The people believed in Rawlings. The nation believed in Rawlings. The rise of a transformer. On June 4, 1979, Rawlings rose to power with a single mission: clean the corruption, restore discipline, give power back to the people. He was only 32 years old. Ghana had not seen a leader like him before. He rejected luxury. He rejected special treatment. He lived like the ordinary Ghanaian. Rawlings became known for his charisma, honesty, fearlessness, love for the poor, zero tolerance for corruption. He walked in markets with no security. He spoke directly to the people. He listened to their struggles. Rawlings showed that leadership is service. The transformation of Ghana. After briefly handing power to a civilian government, Rawlings returned in 1981, not for himself, but for national stability. Then came one of the most intense nation-building efforts in African history. 1. Anti-corruption drive. Rawlings cleaned the system from top to bottom. Public officials feared misusing state funds. Accountability became the new normal. Ghana. 2. Discipline and order. He enforced national discipline, from transportation to public workplaces. Ghanaians remember this era as the time when people respected time, public service improved, leadership became serious, corruption drastically dropped. 3. Economic stabilization. Rawlings, with international support and tough policies, began to rebuild the economy. Agriculture improved. The currency stabilized. The nation started rising again. 4. Empowering ordinary people. He invested in rural development, community programs, infrastructure, electricity, clean water. He believed development must reach every Ghanaian, not just the elite. 5. The birth of the Fourth Republic. Perhaps Rawlings' greatest legacy was this: he became the first Ghanaian leader to transition the nation from military rule to democracy, and step down peacefully. His vision was not power, it was progress. The man behind the legend Rawlings was more than a president. He was a symbol of discipline, a voice for justice, a man who loved his country deeply, a leader who connected with ordinary people like no other, a force too powerful to ignore. He had flaws, like all humans do, but he had something most leaders never possess: a pure intention for his people. He believed Africa deserved dignity. He believed the youth deserved a future. He believed leadership must be honest. Rawlings once said, "I fear no one. I only fear failing my people." That was the fire inside him. The legacy lives. John Rawlings passed away on November 12, 2020, but his impact, his energy, his fire, it still burns today. Across Ghana, across Africa, across the world, Rawlings is remembered as a revolutionary, a reformer, a patriot, a disciplinarian, a man of the people. His story teaches us that true leadership is not about age, wealth, or titles. True leadership is about courage, integrity, discipline, service, sacrifice. The message for you. From Rawlings' life, we learn 1. Stand for something, especially when others stay silent. 2. Build discipline. Your future will thank you. 3. Fight injustice, even if you stand alone. 4. Serve with honesty. The people will never forget you. 5. Be a flame. Light the way for others. Rawlings showed that one man with courage can reshape a nation. And if he could do it, then you can rise, you can lead, you can transform your world, because greatness is not inherited. Greatness is chosen, and Rawlings chose it with fire in his heart.